Good afternoon, folks. How we doing?
Very good.
Good, good. All right. We will let the otter pot record. Awesome. While we wait for more people to jump on, I want to we can all use a little positive in our world on any given day. So tell me something good, anything in the last week. I don't care if it's related to Bold, your business, your personal life. Who's got something good that they will share with us?
I'm excited. My daughter's graduating high school tomorrow.
Oh, that's a big deal. Congratulations to you and to her.
Thanks.
Big parent job done. I
Kinda.
like it.
It's not done.
Oh, well, it's never done. It's just that part's done.
Yeah,
Achievement
that's
unlocked.
one step done.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
big
getting
one.
to the most expensive part now.
Yeah.
Mm.
True story.
You have to pay to make them leave. Yeah.
Oh my
I'm in the midst of
Give
doing
me-
that. My second just graduated high school. I've got one in college and one just graduated high school.
That's awesome.
Game on.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Game on for sure. Give me one more. Something good. Doesn't have to top the graduating high school. Give me one more.
So our crew is doing TL 30/60/90 with Teeter and Brian.
Oh, yeah.
And we brought back career nights for the first time in 65 years, which is
I
exciting.
saw
Ooh.
that. I saw that
And-
you guys were doing that.
Yeah, and
Next
we
week.
have
Oh my
we have a girl who joined as a licensed agent. She is blind and she's doing some ISA work for one of the teams, and
Alex.
Yep. Alexandria is great, and she has been doing the traction calls for the career night. And
Great.
somebody who couldn't make it to the career night met with JV yesterday in the Lakes region. And come on in, JV. JV's coming in. He met with JV yesterday in the Lakes region and told JV that he was going to name Alexandria as his sponsor, which is
That's
pretty cool.
great
They were
stuff.
asking for good news. We're on the bold call. Say hi. Say
I
hi.
love it.
Hi. Sorry.
Hey.
Hello. You're good. You're good. Well, you're here now. It's good. Fantastic. Well, thank you for those of you that just shared. I really appreciate it. Let's jump into it. I made a promise to those of you I have spoken to. I will never take more than 30 minutes of your time a week on one of these Zooms. So we're going to Zoom through it. I'm a former team leader. I respect what you do. I've had a chance to connect with probably half of you. There's a few of you that we haven't been able to connect yet. So here's the short version of me. I am a MAPS coach, obviously. I love what I do. I've done that for about 5 years. I have a mega agent expansion team. I am based in Tampa, Florida. We cover basically the entire west coast of Florida. I've been with the company for 18 years. I've sat in almost every seat, including team leader. So I get the absolute joy of the leadership side of things, which is why I will always respect your time and keep it to 30 minutes. And so I'm super excited. I'm also married. I have 6 kids. I got like multiple jobs. I'm a PC coach. I do all the things, and I love what I do, and I love coaching Bold. And my goal truly is to have the most powerful Bold and the biggest Bold that you can remember having. Would you agree with me that given the market changes that are starting to happen in your area and that are likely to keep happening, would it be a good time to get as many people as possible into a Bold room?
1000%.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So we're on the same page. So my goal today is to lay out a truly simple plan. And I know that many of you have launched Bold before. I'm going to ask for you to an extent to just forget you've ever done it before, because here's what I don't want, and I think you'll be okay with it. Do any of you want to do extra work that isn't needed?
Nope.
Sweet, didn't think so. So my goal is to give you the simplest plan to launch efficiently and have everything that I ask you to do as far as launching the Bold complement what you have to do in your roles as well. Like, I don't want extra work. I want all of the work to meld together so that you can get your goals and not have to work 82 hours a week. It's not fun. I don't want it. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to ask is I want to see who we have here and just ask one easy question. So I know we've got Market Center 538. Remind me, I know you said 400 is agents. What is your actual agent count?
418 right now.
418. Okay. Market Center 614. Do I have anybody? Cool. We'll follow up with them later. 463.
Hello.
Hello. What's your agent count?
As of this morning, 603, but I haven't checked the police log, but I'm pretty sure we're still at
603. What a
yeah.
tiny little office you've got.
Pleasure.
Market Center 183. You're the last one I didn't have the answer for. Anybody?
Yeah, I can get that number.
Okay, cool. You want to give me a guess? If it doesn't need to be perfect, what do you think it is?
It will be perfect because I have it with me. But for right
sweet.
now, I'm gonna give you 150.
150. Okay, cool. Okay. So we're in agreement that it would be a good time to have a lot of people in bold. I'm going to take a wild guess from being in leadership that most of the people on this Zoom and most of the people that were invited in aren't here. Bonuses are probably a part of the way that you get paid. So when the office is making more money, you're all happier. Is that the majority of you? Maybe not all of you. Yeah, cool. That's what I thought. So I want to see an impact on that. When bold goes right, and those of you that have done it many times, I'm sure you've seen many that went well, right? When bold goes great, it gets all four pillars, right? It's not just that it creates more productivity, it creates more profitability. It ups your culture, even if your culture was already great, and it helps with growth. So my goal is to have a big impact. In order to have a big impact, we need big numbers. So I'm going to go market center by market center. And all I want you to do, forget whatever goal's going to maps. This is not about maps nor you being graded. This is just so me and you can work together to get to a goal that would excite you. I want to know how many people you would like to have registered for full bold in this bold. So forget first step for now, it doesn't even exist. How many full bold people would you want? And I'd like you to aim as high as you're comfortable aiming, knowing that I'm never going to drill sergeant yell at you. We can always lower the goal. I'd rather shoot for something high. So my host market center 538. What would be your goal for full bold registrations?
Mark, what do you think? My first gut was 100 from our market center.
Okay.
Is that too low, Mark?
100's a great number.
Okay, from ours.
That's almost 25%. Here's what I can tell you, those of you that I haven't come to yet, here's what I want you to think. We've tracked this for now, gosh, almost 15 years. And the biggest impact, like literally changing multi-year trends, is when you have 20% of your office in there. You start to see real impact at 10%, massive impact at 20%. So, all right, so 100 for you guys. I know 614 is not here. So market center 463. What do you think?
Even though you say you're not judging, I feel like we're being judged.
I promise you,
I'm just kidding.
I don't have the
not my
energy to
first
judge.
rodeo.
I'm
Yeah.
judging you, Timothy. I'm judging.
Tim, I'm judging too.
I
just
love
want
it.
you
I
to
love
know.
it. Thank you, boys. Exciting. Yeah. And Gary's listening. Hi, Gary. You look great. I was initially thinking from a full bold registration, I'd go 10% and say that I would love 60 of my kids to be signed up before we get there.
Hey, I think it's great. I think it's beautiful. No judgment. See, nothing. Market center 183. Give me a goal.
Goal would be goal would be 15. And the
15
number
full?
was and the number was correct that I gave you on the 150. It was exact. So
I knew it would be correct. We're good.
I didn't.
Market center, market center 440. Give me a number.
I was thinking 15. That'd be a little less
15.
than 10%. Yep.
Okay. And market center 737.
The OP I will commit for my team leader. We'll go 10% as well. We'll call it 15.
15. Love it. Okay, great. That's fantastic. Markets, my lovely host market center, I'm assuming the venues that you're looking at can host a decent sized bold. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna hit these goals because that's how I roll, and I feel like that's how you guys roll so far. So I just want to make sure. And they are actively working on venue, and as soon as they have one nailed down, we will of course let all of you know, because one of the funniest objections that I've ever heard, and yet is so common, is, well, I need to know where it's gonna be. So we will get you that information as quickly as possible. So here is my super simple launch plan. I'm going to kind of burn through this and then backtrack for any questions, because I just want to make sure that you guys have the information and we start off on the right foot. All right. The most important thing, item number 1, is I'd like to get scheduled to meet with your ALC. Even if you think, oh, I don't know, they don't let, we rise and fall from the top, not from the bottom. And so I want to get with your ALC. I want to show them value. I want to get their buy-in, and not just for them to attend bold. I'm looking to get their buy-in for them to help you get people to the bold room. Because if any, I know a lot of you have kids. I have a half dozen of them. You know, sometimes they don't want to listen to us. And yet a lot of times if somebody else tells them the same thing, then they'll listen. So ALC can be great leverage for your kids. All right. So I'd love to get in front of your ALC. So one homework piece, and I'll put this, I'm going to email out the recording of this. I will put some bullet points, so don't worry about writing it down if you don't want to. Please let me know when your next ALC meeting is, or if it's too far out, or maybe if it is, it's too packed. Let's work together to come up with a date where we can have a standalone meeting and just do it, everybody on Zoom. Whatever it is, I'd like to get in front of your ALC as quickly as possible. And I'm happy to keep it short and sweet. I'm also happy to full on teach something for them. And we can work market center by market center to figure that out. And yet number 1 is I want your ALC on board. And I know you have impact with them. And yet most top producers, speaking with myself and knowing how I was when I was still taking bold and not a coach, they want to see the coach. They want to hear the coach. They want to know what they're like before they're ready to commit. So I want to get in front of them. Number 2 is that I want to get in on one of your team meetings. And for the record, I'm happy to come in on more than one of your team meetings. And yet we want to have at least one bold team meeting. Now, my assistant will send out information on what that looks like, but let me give you like the skeleton for it, because I can tell you from experience, I've launched a little over, I think 32 bolds at this point. The meetings can be our great leverage. Like you could get like half of what you want out of the team meeting if we run it correctly. And yet a lot of times what I roll into, and I get it because I've sat in your seat before, is you got all these things you want to get through. You give me 5 minutes to talk. There's no impact. We don't register them in the room, and it just falls flat. We want to do a bold team meeting where you are going to decorate the living life out of your, you're going to go to town at the dollar store with anything purple, and you're going to decorate your training room, and we're going to blow it up. We're going to have 2 to 3 people, no more, because we don't want it to get chitty chatty, right? 2 to 3 people who have a great bold story within your market center, could even be you. We're going to get them to give a testimonial. I'm then going to zoom in. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to come in hot with high energy. I'm going to give them a little bit of a learning opportunity. And I'm also going to get them thinking, because like, I don't need to know. I know that at any given time, probably 90% of your agents are not on track for their goals. So we're going to let them get there without me having to say it. And then we're going to hook them and we're going to get them registered. All right. So we need not every minute of an hour meeting, and yet we need the bulk of the time of the meeting to really do this right. So just like ALC, if you can, I know a couple of us have already been communicating. Let me know when your team meetings are. Let me know when you think you can do that, so we can get it on the schedule. And then after we do the initial like bold meeting, like the true rollout, if you have, like, I know some of you meet weekly. If you want me to come on and just do like a 5-minute spot, teach something, I'm happy to jump on right now. Just let me know. And then the third and last major piece of launching. So we got ALC connection, we got team meeting, and then it's part of your job as leadership, team leader and otherwise, is part of your job consistently care calling your agents.
Yes.
Sweet. So you're already doing it. or you're kind of doing it. And I'm going to ask that between now and the rollout of step one, that you, and by you, I don't mean team leader has to do all of these. This is where I want all leadership on deck, and you can decide how you split things out. Everyone is going to hear from you. And it can't be, here's what doesn't work very well. Hey, Bold's coming. Do you want to come? It's got to be a real care call where you ask about, it's mid-year, it's perfect time. How are you doing with your goals? How is your business? How's your life? How are things going at home? Have a conversation. Would you guys as leaders agree that most of your agents, if you truly ask them about goals and life and how things were going, do most of them have some sort of gap between where they are and where they'd like to be?
Yes.
Cool. Before we say the word bold, we have to dig up the gap and then say, oh gosh, okay, well, I've got great news for you. Bold is coming, and Bold will help you bridge the closings gap, raise your average price point, take more control of your calendar. If you have, I really worked pretty hard not to make this bold about me. However, if you have anybody who's stressed out and has a lot on their plate, I'm their guy. I run a team. I still actively sell. I'm a full-time Bold coach. I'm a productivity coach, and I have 6 kids, and I don't work nights and I don't work weekends. I also have a rental portfolio that I'm always playing with. So like, if that's their issue, I can hook them. All right. So we got to find that gap and then tell them about Bold and exactly why they should be there. And the idea, what I would suggest is that in team leaders, you can decide how it gets divided. I would take my roster and I would divide it to who's going to call who. And then you just want to have a red light, yellow light, green light system. All right. You talk to somebody and you get a hard no, like that one person that just is never going to do it. And they're like, if you ask about Bold again, I'm going to leave the market center. It's red light. No one's ever going to call them again. Okay. Yellow light is anybody who isn't a hard no and hasn't told you yes. We train our agents never to take the first no, right?
Yes.
I hope so. If you're not doing that, you should do that. And then you guys, and you do that because you understand the decision continuum, right? Most no's aren't real no's and yeses aren't real yeses, and we just have to move people along to where we want them to be. So yellow light means you're going to circle back, or you know that, hey, the ATL has a better relationship, so they'll call them, right? And then green light, of course, means they've committed to Bold. If you guys can do those 3 things, I promise you, you will hit your goals. I've done this enough times to know that when you guys follow the simple play and don't get cute and creative, which you don't have time to do anyways, that this will work out phenomenally. Now, I want to give you a few supplemental things that only work if you do the 3 things we just talked about. And then I'm going to save time at the end to go over any questions because I know I'm kind of just throwing it at you, right? I already kind of mentioned painting the office purple. 20 to 50 bucks will go a long way with purple stuff. It should go everywhere. It should be very obvious that Bold is coming because you want to create a buzz. All right. You do want to use social media to push Bold. I just want to be sure. I've seen a lot of market centers. I've never launched with you, so I can't say it to you guys. I've seen a lot of market centers that think as long as they're posting it on social media, that's all they need to do. It doesn't work. It's supplemental. All right. And then I would say every time you get somebody committed to full Bold, there should be a video created. It should go on social media. Their picture should get posted on a wall wherever a high traffic area is in your market center. FOMO is real. You all know it's real, even if you think you're not susceptible. And for the record, yes, you are, because you're human. Like, it's real. So we need to utilize that energy when we get people registered. And that's really it. The last thing that I want to, a couple last things I want to share, and this is maybe different from how you've launched before. I'm asking you just to pretend that first step registrations don't exist for now. When we rely on first step, can we get a lot of people in the room? Yeah, and it's a crapshoot because when somebody's only registered for the free part and they don't feel like it that day, they just won't come. When we get them registered for full Bold up front, we know they're coming. And there is something mentally that happens the minute they register for that full Bold, they will start acting differently. Now, the other thing that I will do, and I will start doing this next week, I have a series of coaching videos that I will be sending out each week to anyone who is registered for Full Bold. That's the only way to get it. I get great feedback on them. PS, they're not, I mean, they are just recorded videos. And yet if you tell your people, hey, the coaching starts today if you sign up for Full Bold, again, that FOMO kicks in and they're like, oh, okay. Right. And it'll help them. Everything that I send them is something that'll help them get prepared to get the most out of Bold. One other big tip. When you have somebody that says yes, please, 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 please register them on the spot. I know you're busy and you know that agents aren't always the most reliable. I'm an agent. I'm calling myself out. If you can get them registered on the spot, like, hey, give me your credit. If they're in person, you got a good relationship, take their credit card, go to the link that isn't available yet, that we'll probably get them next week, get them registered. You have somebody in the office. I'm going to ask you to keep stacks of the registration forms. We're going to send you just an easy paper one. Have them fill it out. When we do the team meeting, I'm going to ask you to put those registration forms so that we're not like running cards in the room. We'll collect information. When we rely on them doing it later, it's just, it doesn't get done. So we'll get them registered on the spot. And then the last thing I want to throw out, and then I'm just going to open it up for any questions that you have. For each market center, please, if one of you could email my assistant and I, who you've both gotten emails from, if you could email my assistant and I with anybody else who's on your leadership team and should be getting invited to these Zooms, should be getting update emails, request emails, if you could just do that so we can keep everyone on the same page so nobody feels like they're doing all the work, that would be amazing. I will put it in the email I send after this. I'm going to stop barking at you and ask for any questions. Any questions? There are no bad questions. Go. Not all at once, though. That is very overwhelming for me.
I've
You
got
guys
a
got to calm
bucket
down.
of limiting beliefs, so I'll go first. So a challenge historically is, and you just spoke to it, having them sign up for, the free day, which is a terrible word because it sounds like there's no value and it's being sponsored by somebody. Anyway,
Right.
when they sign up for that, the escape rate is huge. To your point, the challenge too going through registration, because I just looked up, 1,000 years ago I bought gotobold.com, so we have that for our market center.
Brilliant.
I just got to figure out which page I'm going to point it to, because I'm always handcuffed on whether I'm going to put it on the sign up for the whole thing page, which also deters people from, we've had a lot of kids that have gone in and sniffed out the first day, and everyone's going to love you, Hudson. There, you needed to hear that. So they're going to go there the first day and then sign up for the whole thing. So are they going to universalize like a page where everything's right there, as opposed to there's the two choices? Because I always wrestle with that.
Y'all know that parts of Keller Williams live in the 1800s. It's two different sites. I have no control over it.
Okay.
Here's what I would say. If you run the play that I'm talking about, it shouldn't be an issue, because if you run the play that I'm talking about in the team meeting, you're going to hand them a piece of paper. Cool. You're going to register them, or someone's going to register them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking to them on the phone, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to pull up the link right now. You get your credit card, and it shouldn't be an issue if you do it that way.
Sure.
And here's the deal. When we get, depending on what our numbers look like, when we get 1, 2, 3 weeks out, no more than that, then we'll start pushing first step if we need to. Sure. I just find that most launching market centers want to start there because it's easy, it's low hanging fruit. And it's just so, I've had as many as 300 something, like I did a Bold in Austin once. We had 350 people registered for first step. We had 82 show up. So those numbers can get so falsely inflated so quickly, and we never know until the day of. And I am gonna, when we get way closer to that, I'm also gonna give you a foolproof plan for a great show rate. I just don't want to rely on that. How great would it feel? Live in fantasy with me for a second. How great would it feel to walk into first step of Bold knowing that you've already hit your goals and anybody else that signs up is gravy? Because I've had it happen before. So if it's happened once, it can happen again. And I called your old Bold coaches, and everybody that I spoke to said that this group is freaking amazing. So I know you guys are capable of doing whatever it is that needs to be done. So, and I appreciate the question. And by the way, on that, there's one thing I wanted to say. I'm going to share it real quick. The codes won't come out for probably a couple of weeks, and yet
Okay.
there are still leadership discount codes, and there are also recruit discount codes. So the host market center is going to get 10 of them. The rest of you get 5 each, where you can send a recruit for $199. And we are seeing an 80% conversion rate of joining KW. It's a massive recruiting opportunity. So thank you for sparking that. I don't know why you did, and yet you did. So there you go. What other questions?
Hey Hudson, Tony Wallace here. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So I think Mary Hope's already spoken to you, but we do a Monday through Friday, we do a morning mindset call, 8:30 to 9 every day. We usually
I
have
want to
between,
be on one.
okay, so I'll send you an email and with some, I host on Thursdays. So if that can work for you, I will send you an email. We'll find a Thursday in the next 4 to 5 weeks and we'll get you on. And maybe
Yeah,
figure
that
out a way
was
to
kind
promote
of
it.
somebody, I don't remember who emailed me. I replied back just asking, like, is there a better day of the week? So yeah, just shoot me an email, let me know, I'll make it work. Guys, here's the other thing, and those of you that I've spoken to, I've said this to, and I need you to hear it and know that I mean it, and you will never know that I mean it unless you use it, right? I view this as a partnership 100%. I've sat in your seat. I love this company. I'm in Florida. Florida is always ahead of trends. Our market is scary right now. Like, and I don't want to wish this on you. Maybe your market's not going to shift anymore. And yet, if we're judging off of history, you usually follow what happens in Florida, California, and Arizona, right? This is an important time to get people in there. So I'm your partner. You have a rainmaker who's on the fence and they've got a team, connect me with them, or I'll do one of their team meetings, their own team meetings. You've got somebody who you just can't get over the fence and you know you're supposed to be there. Shoot me a text. Hey, can you call so-and-so? This is their hang up. Like I'm here to be your leverage. And the nice thing about right now is I am not doing another bold right now. And while I do still have my other 22 jobs, I got a lot more free time and I'm not in airports. So you need help on something, I just need you to reach out. You want to role play, reach out. You go to your Dofi for help and they're a little nervous because they don't do this all the time. Get them with me, I'll help them. Guys, I am your partner in this. All right. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
All right.
You talked about
Okay.
codes. I apologize, Hudson. You talked about codes. When will the registration links be live? Are they? I feel like I looked this morning and.
So my guess is we just confirmed everything with maps today. I don't think they'll be out by tomorrow. I would venture to bet Monday or Tuesday. It'll be next week for sure. As soon as I get them, you will get them. Both the first step and the full. And then as soon as we know what the venue is, then we'll update them so that shows. So right now it won't show a venue, and yet it doesn't matter. It'll still get them registered for the event. If there's no other questions, and by the way, again, reach out anytime, and I will send out a recap email. Give me any aha around what I've shared as far as launch process or any actionable item that you're excited about. Like, let's hear some stuff. Let's make sure you guys were listening. It felt like you did, and yet I never know.
Aha for me is the fact that we're not relying on the first step.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was because that's in the bold and past. That's always been kind of a thing where, hey, the first step, get them out, get them there, get it there, we'll get them signed up. And the thought of having 100 people already signed up and whatever we get from first step is gravy is exciting. So then that's just a bit of a shift in mindset.
I love it. And I don't say this to insult what you've done before. First step is the easy way out. And if we need to use the easy way, we will. Here's the great news about a free event. It's really easy to get people to commit to. So if we're 2 weeks out and we don't like where the numbers are, then we will change our focus and full court press on first step. I just don't want to lead with it. And historically, when I've had leaders that are on board with that, we have had amazing launches. Like I've walked into rooms before. I did one in Orlando once. We hit 200 registrations and we ran out of seats because they did it that way. So it does work. Give me one more aha or any actionable item that you're excited about.
I appreciate Tony bringing up their call. We do a morning quick start Monday through Friday. at 8:30. So I'll pull you onto that for sure.
Anything you want me on, just give me some advance notice. I will make it work and it'll be great. So that goes for all of you. So ALC and team meeting are most important, but anything else. And if you've got PC groups that meet, like whatever it is, I am all about doing anything I can to get in front of as many of your agents as I can. All right. And then please look out, my assistant has sent out some emails. I've seen one of you have sent stuff in. We need your rosters and all that fun stuff so we can market to them. So make sure she's going to chase you down until you send it. So just send it as quickly as possible. And then it is 3:30. So if y'all need to go, that's cool. If any of you have questions that you didn't get to, or you'd rather ask with less people on Zoom, I will hang out for a minute. Other than that, I appreciate you guys and your time. Bring as many people as possible to the next meeting, which we are switching to Wednesdays moving forward. So bring as many people as you can, and we're going to have a great time. So you guys can leave if you want, and yet I'm going to hang out for just a minute in case there's more questions.
Thank you.
And if there are more questions, shoot. And if not, I'll just
a
watch you
comment.
awkwardly sign off. Yes.
Just a comment. I share your affinity for signs. And I
Oh,
love the
they're
fact that
everywhere. I do. I wear them daily. They come in different shapes and colors, and yet I do wear them daily.
I love that.
I love it. Thanks, Valerie. Anybody else?
No, thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to it. Have a great one.
Thanks.